Welcome to PeopleToolsTechTips.com. I'm Randy Groncki. Today we're continuing on with our PeopleSoft Insight series and talking about search objects. This demo builds on the previous video about building a PS query to extract data to OpenSearch. Links are below if you need to review that video first. And just a reminder, all the objects we work with here are available on PeopleToolsTechTips.com and our GitHub site, PeopleToolsTechTips. Now let's get started. We have our query with our four critical pieces: our data, a drilling URL, a date-time field, a prompt on that date-time field, and it runs successfully to generate our data. Let's build our search objects. PeopleTools uses search objects, specifically search definitions, to inform OpenSearch about everything for this data set. How many fields and what type, the field names, how to retrieve that data, how to secure that data, and much more. Let's get started creating a search definition for our query. Navigate to the Define Search Definitions page. Add a search definition. Add a new value. Create a unique name for your search definition. As a guide, I like to use the same name as my query for consistency. Source type is query, and add. Add a description. Choose an object owner ID. In the search definition group box, find a query. Then in the search results field mapping group box, choose the correct date-time field and then the drilling URL field. It's not unusual to have more than one date, time, and URL fields in your dataset. So choose the correct ones that define when a row was created and which URL defines the row's unique key. Click the title and summary boxes and populate a minimum title and summary. If this search definition were going to be used for global search, you'd want these to represent a unique row in your dataset. Insights doesn't use these boxes, so the minimum will do. Click on the Map Search Attributes tab. This is where we specify which query fields we want to send to Insights and the field names Insights will use for each field. Check the Field Index checkbox on every field you want to send over to Insights. This includes fields that you may not display but need for logic and filtering. I'll discuss some of these in a later video. The Attribute Display Name column contains the field name that Insights will use for this field. Make sure all selected fields have a value. The drop-down options are the different label options for each field. Make sure each field name in this column is unique. Click on the Attachment Properties tab. We're not going to use this for our dataset, just leave the entire thing blank. Click on the Security tab. This is where we define what level of data security Insights will use with this dataset. For our demo, leave No Security selected. Source level security lets us define roles or users allowed to access this data. Document level security creates row level security for the dataset. I'll discuss some of these in a later video. Click on the Advanced tab. Leave this page blank for now. This is where we define pre- and post-processing prior to our query extracting data. We can also define a query to delete selected rows from our OpenSearch index. Again, we'll be working with some of these options in a later video. Click on the Component Mapping tab. Leave this page blank. It does not have anything to do with Insights visualizations. Save our search definitions. For good form and object discipline, we create a search category. Each search definition must have a search category with the same name. Navigate to Define Search Categories. Add a new value. Search category name is the same name as our search definition. Add a description and object owner ID. In the Search Definition grid, input the search definition name we just created. Click on the Advanced Search Fields tab. Make sure the Auto Detect Common Fields checkbox is selected, and save. All our selected fields from the search definition should load into this grid. Click on the Facets tab. Leave this page blank. We will not be using facets on our search data. Save your search category again. Now that we have our search definition and search categories defined, we just have to deploy them to OpenSearch. Deploying a search definition is when PeopleSoft informs OpenSearch everything about this dataset and how to handle it. Navigate to Deploy Search Definitions page. In the Filter by Name edit box, type at least a partial name from your search index to narrow the results. Select our new search definition. Click the Deploy button and wait for the results. In the Deploy Status column, we see that our search definition is now deployed to OpenSearch. Should we have to change our search definition in any way, for example, add a new field to the query, we'll have to first come here and undeploy the search definition before making any changes. Once those changes are completed, we'll then have to redeploy the search definition to update OpenSearch with the latest information about this dataset. That's it. That's the basic for creating and deploying our search objects from PeopleSoft to OpenSearch. In our next video, we'll extract the data from PeopleSoft and send it over to OpenSearch to use in our visualizations. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing to our channel, and we'll see you next time here on PeopleTools Tech Tips.